All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We had a little extra time today, and I literally mean a little extra time, so I figured we'd dive into something new. I don't know if we'll do it every day. I don't know if it'll count towards the final record and final plays, but nonetheless, we're going to dive in and kind of take the raw approach to finding a player prop here. We'll share screen. We'll go through the tools. It's going to be a very lightly edited video. So yeah, we'll see if that's kind of fun, if we want to rock with it and ride with it. Like I said, not sure if it's going to count towards our final plays, because if we're not doing it consistently, we'll see. All is up in the air, but yeah, it's not going to be, I'm repeating myself at this point, but not going to be a chopped up video going from place to place to place. No, we'll kind of just do it the long way around and show you guys pretty much everything behind the scenes and us finding one player prop lock for today's slate. So we only have a 4-game slate on the NBA slate today. And usually first we'll jump in and kind of just look at, I guess, the lineups. And we only have, again, 4 games on today, but this is good to see because you're just familiarizing yourself with the injuries, game time decisions, you know, probabilities and all that. But you can also see the total in games as well as the spreads. And obviously when we're looking for overs, we're looking for close spreads as well as high totals. When you're looking for unders, your eye should be going towards either low totals or a blowout potential like this Milwaukee side of things here. They're 16.5 point favorites. Maybe there's some unders we can look at there because there might be some limited minutes. So, all right, we're familiarizing ourselves. Zion's questionable. Beasley's questionable. Porzingis questionable. Sharp questionable. Grayson Allen questionable. And this updates throughout the day, so we'll come back and look at it at some point. But we flash over to Outlier. By the way, guys, we wouldn't be able to do this show without Outlier, so make sure to go check out Outlier. That link is in the pinned comment. 7 days free when using Outlier. Hella worth it, guys. Go check it out. But we're on the player prop screen. I'll also like to just jump over to the trend screen. They'll have a mix of players and teams here, but we'll filter to players, and pretty much they're just going to give you a bunch of plays that you may have to go digging for versus, you know, in this case, they're just kind of spit out right at you. So we'll just go through here. We have Giannis. Failed to exceed 50.5 PRAs in 11 of his last 12 at home against opponents with a losing record. He's averaging just 42.4. So I like to open this one in a new tab. We'll check it out in a little bit. But that kind of goes back to what we said too, right? Like a Bucks player in an under, because they are like near 20-point favorites today. So that's interesting. Actually, like I said, this is going to be unedited. Let's go ahead and dive into this right now. So there's already some expected value here on this play as well using Outlier. I also like to check, obviously, Odds Jam, which, you know, is pretty much our Bible in terms of best odds and everything like that. So we'll go to NBA. We'll try and find player, what PRA is it? Points, rebounds, and assists. And once that loads, we can type in Giannis, and we'll be able to kind of do that a little bit easier if I could spell. All right, so the best odds out there, it's set at 50. Right now, it's 50.5. Pretty similar across the board. Alternate lines, 49. Okay, so there's nothing much here. In fact, I don't even see much of the value in the EV side of things. But let's look, 51.5. Average odds minus 116. So I guess we can make the argument that, you know, minus 110 may be kind of valuable. But what I'll say to this, and sorry I'm taking you guys down this rabbit hole. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, let me know what you think of this sort of scatterbrained, scattergunned approach to just digging through. Like some days we might find a lock, some days we might not find anything. Just let me know, guys. We're just off the cuff here. But what I'll say about this Giannis play is, it may be silly to bet against Giannis. Like, he could play 3 quarters and drop this. So we're gonna, you know, nix this one. Not really feeling it. Let's head back in. We can stay on this trend screen. Lillard failed to exceed 1.5 steals. Too low of a number. More Giannis stuff. Interesting. Booker failed to exceed 33 points and rebounds. 7 of his last 9 against the, or 7 of the last 9 after a win. But he's averaging 32. Like, that's right there. If we jump into this one, like, that seems a little too close for comfort, right? And you can also see starting lineups on that original screen that we walked through too. So Booker slated as the point guard today. Portland versus point guards. You know, middle of the pack in terms of points allowed, allowing a bunch of rebounds to the point guard position. Last time he played them, okay, he stayed under this in 5 of his last 6 against Portland. Decent value there as well. Let's go to Booker here. Let's see. Points and rebounds. Again, guys, super, super, super imperative that you check odds. And we can do it on OddsJam. So I love OddsJam, but they only have, the 4 main books. You can get a global consensus when you look over on OddsJam. So Outlier has, but OddsJam, you could see pretty much everything and see as it moves. So average odds right now for the under 34.5, which is not the line we have, 34.5, 120, but you can see books have this 33.5, 33.5, all right around minus 110. So not the most amount of value there either. But nonetheless, we'll keep that tab open here because we might come back to it. Tatum failed to exceed. I don't like that. I think that he could have a good matchup against Golden State tonight. All right, you know what? We're going to do this the long way around. I don't hate this one, actually. All right, we're going to look at this first, but actually, you know what? Minus 210, terrible odds. We're going to do this the long way around. We're going to head into the prop screen and do some digging here. All right, so this is going to have plays like this. Look at Chris Middleton under 0.5 blocks, minus 1,000, like way too much. So on Outlier here, we'll make this right around, minus 155 or so in terms of the worst odds that we could see, just because we don't want to be considering things that are like that crazy, right? And we have the option to filter last 5, last 10. We'll stick on last 10 for now. And immediately there's one that's just green across the board. So DeAndre Ayton over 3.5 first quarter points. Do we roll with a first quarter over in this one? All he needs is 2 buckets. Okay, damn. So he's hit this in 9 of his last 10. He's hit it in 14 of 21 games this year. Oh, do we roll with it? He's playing Phoenix, who, yes, he's been feasting against his old team. Phoenix allowing the 6th fewest points to centers here. Ooh, this is a tough one here. Oh, I don't hate this at all. I don't hate this one at all, but you know what? All right, let's lock it in. DeAndre Ayton over 3.5 first quarter points. We'll keep riffing here, and I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly, but we'll keep going and finding a couple more. But play number 1 here. Best odds looks like it's over on FanDuel. You can open FanDuel up right from Outlier. We'll do that later. But yeah, FanDuel minus 132. Let's lock that one in for now. Let's see if we can find one more. This is crazy, though. Come on. He's hit this in 67% of games this year. He's hit it in 7 straight against his old team. He's hit it in 14 of 20. He's hit it in 9 of 10. Like, give me 2 buckets here, right? Give me 2 buckets here. What's his points line? See, that's crazy. That's crazy. He's not nearly playing as well in terms of his line for the entire game. First quarter, he starts hot. And again, that's only 2 buckets against his old team. He's got to come out firing. All right. DeAndre Ayton over 3.5 first quarter points right here is our first one. If we refresh, that should be in our picks. Let's see. There it is in our picks. Okay. All right. Let's move these odds back to what do we say? Minus 155. DeAndre Ayton, it's in there. All right, let's keep looking here. CJ McCollum under 9.5 rebounds plus assists, but Memphis seems like they give up plenty of those. Oh, that DeAndre one's got me a little excited here. Okay, what are we looking at here? Jason Tatum under 42.5. I think he has a good night tonight. 38.5. All right, we're sticking away from Tatum. Zach Collins. You see, this is what I'm doing here. We know because we looked at this, right? San Antonio, no Victor Wembanyama. Zach Collins should see an uptick in minutes, right? So even though the numbers are saying, dude, has cashed the under here and, all of these, it's like, well, we're using our context. He's probably going to get an uptick in usage. He's already one of the more used guys on the teams, if you guys didn't know that. So I'm not really feeling that, right? Most of these Spurs guys are going to get upticks in minutes. So if we look into it, like Trey Jones, and I'm not even sure if Wemby's missed any time this year, but if we go and you can use Outlier to filter out without players, sometimes it doesn't snag, it doesn't catch. But yeah, you can see obviously last year, so it looks like there's just one game this year that he didn't, and he actually hit the over. So all of a sudden, we're kind of sticking away from it. But there's always something if you dig, right? The diamond doesn't just pop out of the ground. You got to mine for it. Is that really the best analogy we came up with? All right, Karl Anthony Towns going up against Philly here. He's hit over 11.5 boards and assists in 8 of his last 10, 4 of his last 5. Let's see. Okay. All right, doesn't look bad. It looks like last time he had 10, he came back with 13. But a few of these games he's hit just on the hook, right? What about last time he's played Philly? So last time he played Philly this year, he did have 14. But prior to that, he kind of hung right around that number. He's getting the start at this game's not even today. What are we doing? This is tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Of course, we're throwing a wrench into things. We should just be filtering to specific games up here, but whatever. Maybe guys, maybe that play DeAndre in over 3.5 first quarter points is it. No, I can't have you coming through this video and then I'm like, actually, you know what? Yeah, you just wasted time. So no, we're going to find one more if it's the last thing we do, which it will be the last thing we do. All right, let's keep going. I kind of want to look for another over here. So let's go to over. Bane over 2.5 turnovers. I don't know about that. That does not scream worth pulling the trigger on to me. Zach Collins first quarter points. Okay, now we're talking. Do we just roll first quarter? Okay, so he has hit this in 8 of 10. He's hit it in 68% of games this year. He hit it in his last game against the Bucks with 2 buckets. Guys, decent odds. Okay, let's see what we got in terms of just overall value. We should have done this with 8 and 2, right? But let's see. First, where we got player props, first quarter player points. We'll check Ayton as well because we got him at what, 132? So Ayton was, let's see, the over 137. So we did definitely beat the best odds there. Now let's go to Collins. And Collins looks like the best odds also over on FanDuel at -111, which it's true. All right. We got 2 plays that we're locking in this video. DeAndre Ayton over 3.5 first quarter points. Zach Collins over 3.5 first quarter points. Now, guys, we obviously did that very quickly. 2 plays in 10 minutes or so. That isn't not necessarily something that I would necessarily recommend, okay? Like, that is, you should be putting a little bit more time into games. But we wanted to keep this video, I guess, raw and quick and just kind of show you a process. So more often than not, we're diving in and digging a little bit deeper. We'd look at, the teams that they're playing, like the Suns playing against the Trailblazers, how many points their last few centers that they played, or same thing for Collins. But for the sake of the video, guys, we're rolling with it. And yeah, I don't necessarily hate it. So again, DeAndre Ayton, 3.5 first quarter points, -132. And then for Zach Collins here, same thing, over 3.5 first quarter points, -111 over on FanDuel. So guys, that's all we have for you. Let me know in the comments if you like this sort of raw type of video, if it's worth doing. Again, like, it's the thing that I'd like to distinguish. I'm gonna go on a rant here, of course. The thing that I like to distinguish myself in terms of just content creation and whatnot is, like, we should all win together. Like, why are we afraid of that? Why are people on YouTube being like, buy my picks, or I have a secret sauce, you'll never know what it is? Dude, we all have access to the internet, or most of us do. We have computers, we have phones. Like, we should all be able to access the same things. And yeah, we kind of just want to win together. So I guess that's all I have for you guys today. A little rant at the end, but let me know if these types of raw videos where we actually go through our thought process are worth it. I'd love to do this type of thing with live streams too, so maybe that's coming soon. But nonetheless, that's what we have for you guys. 2 additional plays for today. Again, we'll see how consistent we are with this before we start throwing them into our final plays with our regular NBA videos. But nonetheless, we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.